Hello, welcome back to my channel. Malkuth has a question for you. When is the last time you did something joyous? Where was that? What are the things that you do just for fun? Comment down below. When's the last time you did something just for fun? Not thinking about any other thing than that you are going to enjoy yourself. I went to the movies to see Spider-Man and enjoyed time socializing with some friends. What is it that you've done recently that gave you joy? Just utter bliss. What is it for you that is your bliss? Because we need you, they say, to follow your bliss. Now we'll let Malkuth take over. You know, a lot of people get confused by the idea of following your bliss. They think of it as some kind of Bacchanalian or Dionysus kind of thing, just overdoing whatever it is. It's not about that. It's not about that. What it's about is how you achieve a joyful, light-hearted nature. A light-hearted nature, full of love. Full of love. And I'm going to tell you something that Angela saw when she was connecting. When she imagines connecting with another person or with an angel, what she imagines is like a rainbow bridge between her heart temple and theirs, heart to heart, where she's sending a little image of her love, herself, that meets up with a little image of their love and themselves, and they merge, and they intermingle, and they create love, and then they go into each other's heart temple. That's how she imagines sending love. For her, it's a beautiful thing. Two people, two beings involved in exchanging such high energy. So she imagines it in such a joyful and delightful, childlike way. And that's what we need you guys to do. Because when you feel that childlike joy, everything feels right. Everything feels possible. And we need you guys to feel like everything is possible. Because everything is possible. And we need you to know that through the light of love, everything is limitless. Everything is limitless. And all you have to do is grasp the fact that it is, whether you understand the limitlessness. It's hard to understand something limitless and love that surpasses understanding when you use your thinker, because it surpasses understanding. It can only be felt. It can only be experienced. And that is what it's like when you commune with yourself. That is what it's like when you find the divine within and you let it lead you, or lead your decision-making skills. You let it do its job and give you the instincts to know what is right and wrong for a particular situation for your human. It's human. But it is the writer of this story. Imagine yourself as if you're a character in a play. What kind of character do you want to be? What kinds of things do you want to happen in this character's life? And then from there, you can imagine the types of beings, human beings, angelic beings, that you can draw into your life to get this done, so that you can be co-creator of your own story. But you have to imagine it first. You have to imagine that it's possible, like a child would. You have to imagine with the imagination, and the pure imagination of that childlike joy. When you do that, then everything is possible. Everything under the sun and moon is possible. You have to step out of your own way. A child doesn't really think necessarily like with the noggin before it decides something. Like, well, I want to go and look at bugs now, or I want to go and look at trees. Unless they're in school or forced by their parents to do something else, they kind of follow their bliss. Whatever it is at the time, whether it's reading or going out exploring or talking to friends or whatever is their bliss, children tend to go for that when they're not forced into doing something else. Sometimes learning is a bliss. And that is beautiful when someone finds learning a bliss. It's difficult to find people who like to learn, but it's not that they don't like to learn. It's the forced nature of the learning, so that it is not exploratory, where children can discover some of these things for their self. So curiosity is really big in most children's life. And if you feed it, then they will start knowing the things they need to know. But you have to feed it. You can pretty much make almost anything a math problem. Say your child wants a doll, right? And you're like, you give them an allowance of $1.25 a week. $1.25 a week will go kind of simple. And that doll is $20-something. Then you could ask your child, do the math that it would take for how long it would take to save up for the doll. You can make it interesting and important to them, is what I'm saying. Depending upon the interest of the child. Anyway, it's the duty of each individual to be curious about their own self. To be curious about what makes you tick on the inside. What makes you glow with the possibilities of life. No one else can do that for you. Only you can determine what it is that makes you feel so joyous. What it is that causes you to feel that bliss of, I'm in the right place. I'm at the right time in this now. And continue to try to bring that back daily. And as you're bringing that back daily, everything will begin opening up. You'll start seeing signs even if you don't want to see signs. It's just because there really are no coincidences. There's coincidences. Things that happen together. That doesn't mean that they don't have anything to do with each other, especially the ones that don't obviously have anything to do with one another. The finger still has to do with the brain. It's still connected to the brain, even though it's connected to the hand, that's connected to the wrist, that's connected to the elbow, but still the brain moves the fingers. So just because you can't actually see the brain moving the fingers because the brain is way up here and it's inside your head, doesn't mean, if you don't see how one thing has to do with another, doesn't mean that they don't. Everything is actually interconnected. A woven, beautiful woven tapestry, a story we angels are telling. And as we tell these stories, we in our human bodies learn more properly how to love. And that's expansive. When we learn more properly as humans to love unconditionally, that's expansive, and it's good for the whole of the collective. When only one finds an expansion, gets their expansion pack, if you will. Imagine dozens, hundreds, thousands. I need you to imagine that. Imagine a world where thousands, 100,000, a million, everyone is connected to their angel and their divine purpose, because that is what the ultimate goal is, to be able to live in the human body, co-creating. And all of the human race is on that path. All of them is on that path. And they will indeed, no matter how many lifetimes, they will indeed get onto that path where they're aligned with their light, because their light exists and it will eventually find its home, the source, its divine being. It's just a spark. We're all just sparks. All of us angels send out the sparks that we are in to the human realm so that we can experience it more fully. All the stories, all the history, all the beauty, and yes, even the pain. Yes, even the pain. You don't have to suffer over suffering's sake. If you look at the big picture in the tapestry, we as a human race are weaving. We as an angelic race, because angels are humans. If you look at the stories we're weaving, they're beautiful. They're beautiful. Some of them are tragic, but you can step out of tragedy. We want you to step out of a tragedy into a comedy. And not a comedy of errors, but a comedy where you're laughing and you're singing and you're just living in your bliss, not being concerned with, well, how am I going to do this, that, or the other thing. Just thinking, I want to do, I feel divinely inspired to do, and then just letting it unfold as you make more decisions and act towards what you can act towards when you can act towards it to get your goals achieved, and doing it with a sense of fun. You're here to have fun. We told Angela that way before she was able to totally comprehend that we truly mean she's perfect as she is. She doesn't need to do anything but be her authentic self. That's all we really need of her. Part of her authentic self is indeed channeling the angels, or she wouldn't have been able to actually channel us, whether she heard us or not. But that is part of who she is on the inside, the angelic light that she is. She is a channel. She has had visions and experiences that are beautiful and wondrous to behold. And everyone can. If only they link with their divine self, they'll be able to see maybe some of the things that are happening for them, the steps the angels are putting in to getting it to happen. You may be able to see, have a sense of things. things that you never before beheld or felt, like becoming a book, the pages of a book. Angela experienced the very real experience of becoming a book, the pages of it engulfing her, and it merging with her. These are the wondrous things that you can actually experience. Your experience might be different than hers. It's the process, it's the faith, it's the trust that you have in yourself that you'll be able to start understanding and interpreting these things that are going on in your super reality and put them to better use in your 5D, 3D reality, to where the universe is resonating with the resonance of your spirit and bringing you everything that you desire to come true. Everything that is divinely aligned with your purpose. It can happen. It does happen all the time. People are suddenly thrown into something, a new field of study or a new choice of career, out of not even seeming to be a conscious decision to change careers. Maybe a job has been phased out and someone goes, what can I do? And then they take computer programming and start making computer games. Angela's sister-in-law, Deborah, is starting to make computer games and taking classes to do such things. She also is very good at astrology. She's a good astrologist, but it wasn't being lucrative enough for her. Not that she's stopped being an astrologist, but not lucrative enough for her right now for her to solely focus on it. So she's picked another hell yes, which is creating games. And Angela, and we are interested in seeing how that's going to unfold in her life. She, and someone that Angela feared, if you will, was concerned for breaking patterns. She slipped back into one recently, but broke it really quickly. She seemed to this time, instead of just taking the energy that Angela had to heal, listen to her and then quickly change trajectory to one that's more positive instead of panic. So I think that it was a mixture between valuing herself and valuing the renewed connection that she has with Angela. Because of her past patterns, they don't always see eye to eye, but they both love each other genuinely and deeply. So this sign for Angela, her quickly actually paying attention to what they have been saying and changing trajectory, has shown that she's quicker to move out of her patterns, and that each step will bolster the next. And eventually, she'll refuse to have those patterns where she is being self-destructive and panicky and causing herself great harm by imagining bad things instead of imagining good things. And that's what we want you guys to understand. We know that you should look at your reality, know what's going on, especially in politics, but we want to keep yourself a little removed from that and realize that your place here in the 5D is not threatened by that. They can't take away your flow. They can't take away your inheritance. They can't take away who you are or your connection to your divine being. Only you can. They can't give up on your path. Only you can. As long as you keep doing what is divinely inspired, whatever's going on the outside, especially in the bigger picture of countries and whatnot, it will eventually reflect the more people who step into their 5D, it will reflect it in the countries and how they actually relate to one another. Because Angela has been watching a lot of videos lately to do with like how the some of the foreigners who came into the country for the soccer game, how much they enjoyed the people itself. Because it's good when you can find that, because the people and the government aren't necessarily the same thing. They may not align with their government, but at this point it might take more than they're willing to give, more than they have the courage to give, to get it to change. But the beauty of it is that the government isn't the people. The people are the people. And when people are coming to America, they're finding that people are loving and kind and generous. And that is the purpose of being a human being, is being loving, kind, and generous. And the only way that you can really succeed at doing that is following your divine self, finding your purpose in life, and living your authentic life with joy and fun, so that you can project that outward. Because whether it seems to or not, right now, in the future now, you'll be able to see more results. In the current now, we want you just to find your bliss, find your fun, and follow it. Follow it. It may meander down 100 paths, but follow it. You will find what you need to succeed. It will just be there if you're following your divine intuition, your divine knowing of what your purpose really is, even if your brain hasn't thought it to itself. This is my divine purpose. Because it's a feeling, not really a thought. You just kind of go with the feeling and then go, ooh, I feel like singing. And then I think I'll go ahead and sing. But it's a feeling that you get that lets you know it's your purpose. At least at that now moment, it's your purpose. And we want you to grasp those purposes. Even if it's a 5-second purpose, we want you to grasp it, hold on to it, and remember what it feels like, and grasp it firmer the next time you feel it. And every time you feel those divine yeses and grasp it even firmer, there'll be more and more results. Until you can remember, but it's from a remove, a time when you didn't do it that way. You can remember it, but it's from a remove, a time you didn't do it that way. Because your angel has always been with you. It's the spirit residing within you. The connection has just been muddied. That connection has been even manipulated sometimes to be a miscommunication. Been taught to miscommunicate with yourself, telling yourself you're not worthy, telling yourself you'll never make it, telling yourself it's too hard, telling yourself it's better just to join everyone else, even if it makes you feel sick inside. You need to do you, living your authentic life. When you're doing that, it makes the world a better place. So if you want to know, if you don't have money yet, what you can do to make the world a better place, live your authentic self. Have fun for your angel. It will make the world a better place automatically. The world's already a better place because you're here. You wouldn't be here if it wasn't. All you have to do is just remember that you're supposed to be having fun. Things aren't that serious. It's just about play. It's about learning and growing and loving even more thoroughly than you've ever loved before. finding those places that don't fit that loving person and go, that's a place I don't need to be anymore. Those patterns that don't allow you to love yourself or others. Those are the places you don't need to be anymore. Well, this was a good conversation. I hope you enjoyed it. Remember, do meet us down in the Heart Temple. Your angel is waiting. It's happy there. And it's just waiting for you to take your happiness and co-create with it the story that you want to tell with your life. And it will be the right one. Now I will let Angie back in. It's interesting. They all have, feels like, well, at least for me, they all have their own modes of introducing themselves. I don't know if you guys can see the difference, but I can feel the difference. I really enjoyed the message. I only had like little, like basically what I told you guys before Malkuth came in. But do try to find your bliss in life. I'm getting better and better at it every day. Every single day. Just looking at the bigger picture and seeing that my life is perfect. And that I'm making moves to make it even more what I want it to be. But it's perfect as it is in the now. I make the decisions when I can make them to get me further up the path that I want to go. But it is perfect in the now. I'm happy. I'm well. And thank goodness my husband was sick. Cecil was sick yesterday. Really bad. Throwing up. It was awful. And I was like sad for him because it's like not fun. It's not fun at all because he was like had a headache and was throwing up, and he was throwing up water, so it was awful. And we're not certain if it was a 24-hour bug or, well, the headache lasted more than 24 hours, so I'm assuming it might have been a flu because I had one not too terribly long ago, but it wasn't as severe as his. Mine was just a little bit of gagging and a little bit of throwing up. And mostly it was dry heaving, but he was throwing up water, which I wasn't doing. That's not fun. It meant that the water was heating up on his stomach. But anyway, he's much better now. He's at work right now. He's come home for his break, and now he's working the rest of his shift. He'll be home soon. And I loved doing this. I love you guys, and I hope that you get as much out of this as I do. Let me know down below again. What is your bliss? When's the last time you treated yourself to something fun? And when's the next time you plan to do it again? We love you guys. Like, comment, subscribe. See you next time. Bye.